Hello and welcome. My name is Ravinder Singh, and I am the founder of Holistic Success Academy, which is an organization which helps holistic entrepreneurs to establish, grow, and scale their online business using mindset coaching, marketing, and tech automation. And today is a special day. Today is the International Women's Day, and we are here to celebrate the International Women's Day with a lineup of 10 super speakers, 10 women who are super successful in their business, and they are going to share their journey with you, share their stories with you. I have traveled to a lot of countries, and especially US, Canada, China, Japan, Dubai. And when I visit those countries and use the public transport like metro or buses, there is one significant thing which is different between the metro over there and metro in our country. And can you guess what it is? Yes, there is a reservation for women specifically in our metro and public transport. And many of my friends over there ask me that, why do you have separate coaches or separate seats reserved for women? And the reason for it is we collectively, the men folk here in our country, have not created an atmosphere and an environment where women can feel safe while they are traveling with other people. So we have failed to create such a place where women are not conscious of their gender while they are traveling, while they are working. So there is a lot of progress, of course. You know, we have women entrepreneurs, we have women CEOs, we have startup unicorn owners who are women, and they are progressing in all fronts, but still there is some progress to be made. Still, there are certain changes which are there. I had penned a poem a couple of years ago, and उस कविता का शीर्षक है रोशनियां छटपटाती। रोशनियां छटपटाती हैं घने काले अंधेरे के सीने से निकलने को। कैद है रोशनियां एक गुमनाम अंधेरे में, जहां न आफताब पहुंच सकता है और न कोई चिराग। सराब है रोशनियां अपने ही आंसुओं से, डूब गई हैं अपने ही सैलाब में। रोशनियां तड़पती हैं खुली हवा में सांस लेने को, उड़ने को परिंदों की मानिंद, पर उन्हें अंधेरे के सिवा कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता। जब रोशनियों का कद बढ़ जाता है, उन्हें मध्यम होने पर मजबूर कर देते हैं अंधेरे, पर उन्हें बुझा नहीं पाते। अंधेरे बड़ी शिद्दत से लगे हैं सदी से बुझाने इन रोशनियों को, पर हो न सके कामयाब, क्योंकि रोशनियों की लौ मध्यम सही, पर यह बुलंद है अंदर से। यह जलती रहेंगी सदियों तक, लेती रहेंगी लोहा अंधेरों से। ये रोशनियां हैं हमारी बेटियां, जो लड़ रही हैं सदियों से इस पुरुष प्रधान समाज के अंधेरों से। सलाम इन बुलंद रोशनियों और उनके एक सुनहरे मुस्तकबिल को, अंधेरों को उनके आगे घुटने टेकने ही पड़े। We are starting the lineup of today with our speaker, whose name is Geetu Thackur. And Geetu Thackur is a life coach with a different approach to improving lives. While she is a qualified management professional, she utilizes various spiritual modalities that help folks from every walk of life, be it Generation X, professionals, the elderly, or housewives. She is a shamanic practitioner, having trained under many shamanic teachers. She is also a certified Mune Ki rites teacher and has learned angel therapy, family constellations, Jinshin Jutsu, sound healing, sounds of Shiva, Reiki, and connective healing to enhance her work in the world of holistic healing. She is one of the few people who read the Huna stones, an ancient shamanic reading with the help of stones. During her sabbatical for motherhood, she was in the United States and traveled extensively, where she met the Native Americans, which awakened her interest in shamanism. This encouraged her to take up shamanism as a way of balancing, getting aligned with nature, and heal. So please welcome Geetu Thackur.
I speak from the time that where there wasn't a matriarchal society, there wasn't a patriarchal society, and it came from a place where everything was a flat hierarchy. Very funnily, we say men and women, but out of all the little points in our DNA, only the X and the Y chromosomes are responsible for the way we look. Out of the entire 46 of them, there are only two, the X and the Y. We completely forget the remaining chromosomes, which are a part of ourselves. We are 50% our mother and 50% our father. When the divine union happened between our parents, only two chromosomes which joined together decided our looks. A divine feminine is supposed to be full of unconditional love, understanding, nurturing, tenderness, kindness, intuitiveness, creativity, feeling, she feels, stillness, flow, radiance, surrender, sensitivity, emotional, ease, and allowing. Are we really allowed to be this? When the divine union happens, our soul is full of these feminine attributes. When the union happens, our soul is also full of the divine masculine attributes of confidence, inner strength, responsibility, focus, logical and analytical skills, support, stability, direction, protection, clarity, boundaries, courage, discipline, capability, certainty, and assertiveness. When the divine union happens, we are gifted with all these qualities. Unfortunately, as we grow in our womb and we become one with our mother, all these emotions are confused with what's happening around us. A fetus is known to feel and hear everything that is happening around. That is why they say that when the mother is carrying the baby, she should be protected. She should be kept happy. She should be kept away from trauma. But how many women really experience this? In the patriarchal society today, we are looking at women given the entire responsibility in spite of her carrying her baby. In the world, ancient worlds, before the advent of religion, before the advent of the patriarchal and the matriarchal societies, women were kept separately. The moment she became pregnant, she was kept away from everyone. The women would pamper her, feed her what she wants. And today it is a completely different society. Today, what's happening around the mother brings in what we call as the wounded masculine and the wounded feminine. Both of these exist inside of us, the masculine as well as feminine. Just because we have a face that's feminine or a face that's masculine doesn't mean that we are masculine. We just have a male face if we have a masculine face, and we are feminine if we are females if we have a feminine face. And these are things that are given today. Earlier, everyone had long hair. People didn't dress differently. What happens today when there are problems at home and in your environment? The feminine is wounded and the masculine is wounded. Irrespective of whether you're female or male, by physical aspects, the one becomes a perpetrator, the other becomes a victim. There is a loss of power as well as abuse of power. There is weakness as well as dominance. There is manipulation as well as aggression. It's withholding and control. There is neediness, there's confrontation. There is criticism, abuse, avoidance, unsupportive, and instability, along with codependency, oversensitivity, and over-emotional. When we see all of these characteristics, this is our wounded self, and it's time to heal this to become the balanced feminine and the balanced masculine within ourselves before we seek a union with another human. So here is where I am trying to show you the difference that for even a man in us, we can, as a woman, we can have our wounded masculine. We can also be the perpetrators as much as we can be the victims. It has nothing to do with our looks. It is time to bring the energy together and not just celebrate International Women's Day or International Men's Day, where it is all about bashing the other gender. It's time to bring in equality of gender. The only difference is exactly what you said, Ravinder. It's today in our Indian scenario where we feel ourselves different from the other gender. Abroad, they don't have this concept. The priority in a bus is always given to a pregnant woman or to an elderly, not to a woman. In our buses, we have special seats for women because there is a wounded masculine and there is a wounded feminine amongst all of us. Yeah. So yes, Jaspreet, you have a question and it's all open to you.
Please, I just appreciated the fact you just mentioned that there is no seat for women, but there is a seat for elderly people and people who are expecting. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I actually clapped.
Thank you. And it's time, yes, because it is the elderly and it is the women who are carrying, who need that extra help. I think the day we say that we don't need special places for us, when we are capable of being, when we say we are equal to men, let us not make ourselves equal somewhere and unequal elsewhere. So in that note, I am ending my talk and the question answer session is all open to you.
Thank you, Geetu, for so eloquently bringing out the wounded masculine and wounded feminine, that to think beyond the gender. So we currently think of ourselves as males and females, but we do have the feminine energy in males, and females also have the masculine energy. So thank you for bringing it so well. And now the floor is open. If anyone has any questions for Geetu, you're free to raise your hands and you can unmute yourself and please go ahead.
Congratulations. It was so simple and you explained it so well that I think you have already answered all the questions in our mind.
Thank you so much, Poonam. This means a lot.
I would like to know, where is Geetu situated in India? Is she in India or?
Yes, I live in Mumbai.
Okay. Even I live in Mumbai, so we can meet up.
We can always connect with each other, and since you're on the group, we will catch up with each other. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Geetu. And later on, if someone has a question later on, then also you can ask if Geetu is on.
You can put it on the chat and I will answer it over there.
It seems Kavita has a question.
Yes, Kavita.
Yeah, Geetu, it was really wonderful. I was wondering that since this concept of masculine part in the feminine, in the women, and the feminine part in the men is difficult for people to comprehend. Can you kind of explain or illustrate that how do we know which part of me is masculine and which part of me is feminine?
The part of you that is giving is the masculine. The part of you that's receiving is the feminine.
I thought it was the other way around.
Receiving is the feminine and masculine is the giving.
Because I always thought the women are the giving and the caring part. The women are the givers and the men are the takers.
Okay, just let's go back to the sacred union that happens between the man and the woman.
That apart.
That is the primordial energy of the sacred feminine and sacred masculine.
Because the woman gives birth, the woman creates. So
Yeah.
she's the giver, so she is giving birth. She is not,
She's nurturing a child who she's bringing into the world. She's not giving birth. So these certain, Kavita, here are certain words or sets of words that are created by the patriarchal community. And, you know, when we go back to the ancient ways of life, or we go back to our colloquial language, you will see that giving birth is not a word. It's all about bringing a child into life is what a feminine is doing. She's carrying and creating and bringing that newborn person into life.
okay. Because, you know, I have been traditionally brought up to see my mother as...
You don't give life to your child, to a child. A woman doesn't give life to a child.
No, but she gives them...
The child is created with the divine union of the masculine and the feminine. By herself, yes, there are a lot of gods and goddesses who may have got pregnant without the divine union, but here I'm talking about humans, and the union of the divine masculine and the feminine creates a child who the mother nurtures in her body and doesn't really give birth. It brings into life that child. You know, it's not about giving. The life is already there. She's only nurturing.
So when she's nurturing, she's giving everything of herself to the child, right?
She's not giving everything. She's giving only as much as the child needs.
Because even when you talk about the union, the natural union, the father is giving the sperm, but so is the mother giving the egg. So it is both are giving.
See, the woman's body has been designed to carry the child.
Yeah, that I agree.
That is exactly that one part of your chromosome.
Right.
And that's it.
No, I'm talking about giving. Yeah, and taking. Yes.
So thanks, Geetu. I think, Kavita, you can connect with the Geetu later on and take it offline. It was wonderful having your questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
And Geetu, before we let you go, we would like to offer you a certificate of appreciation. So please unmute yourself and give her a big round of applause. It was a wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks, Geetu.
Very much. It was a pleasure being here, Ravinder. Thank you for inviting me here.
Okay, so now moving on to our next distinguished speaker. Her name is Kalpana Ramesh. Kalpana Ramesh is fondly called as the water warrior. She's an environmentalist advocating water conservation and restoration, an interior designer by profession She was vexed with the city's dependency on water tankers and cans, and thus started working towards eliminating water woes by implementing rainwater harvesting at her residence and later transforming into block by block for the city. Her commitment to exemplary practice is demonstrated by her unique ability of connecting her profession and passion for water and environmental conservation. Kalpana is also a core member of SAHE, Society for Advancement of Human Endeavors. Her efforts in the field of water awareness have garnered her various prestigious awards. She believes in working on a three-part plan, which includes communities, corporates, and the government for a sustainable water future. Her current social startup, the Rainwater Project, provides sustainable integrated water management solutions in public and private sectors, along with lake and well restoration and conservation. She is part of the Hyderabad Design Forum, HDF's Stepwell Documentation Initiative. As a lead of the Blue Hyderabad Initiative, in collaboration with various organizations, she worked on restoring the dead Kundi Kunta Lake. The quality of water, the environment of the lake vicinity have improved significantly over 3 years. And she is one of the 7 women honored on Women's Day to take over the Prime Minister's social media handle for a cause. She received many recognitions with many prestigious awards like the Water Heroes by the Jal Ministry Awards, HMA Women Entrepreneur of the Year 2021, and HICE Award. Recently, she had been awarded for her commitment of conserving water by the IIID Regional Hyderabad chapter. So let us welcome Kalpana ji onto the stage. Kalpana, the stage is yours.
Ravinder ji, and happy Women's Day to all the women here today. I think all of you are doing such great work, and I'm here from Hyderabad today talking to you about what I have done so far as my journey. But I want to begin my talk saying that whatever I've done so far is a very common sense thing a citizen would do or a woman would do. If you actually look at our mothers and grandmothers, they've handled the most complicated issues in a very common sense way of looking at things. So for me, looking at the city's water was not my goal or, has been my goal always. I come from an architecture and design background, and I've practiced for 20 plus years. And I saw so many gaps about how we are not focused on water. And without water, there is no life, and there is an urgency to do something about this. So that's how my journey. I would like to share a quick presentation. Ravinder ji, you need to make me the host.
I just did that.
Yeah. So often we think what a woman can do, right? What can one woman do? And there's so many water bodies, so many problems, so much of sewage, so much of rainwater runoff, urban floods. I'll share my story, then you will start believing that each one of us has immense potential to actually do what we want and what we are passionate about. And we can build on this passion and to unimaginable heights. Like I didn't imagine 15 years ago that I would do something like this. So I shall share my. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So I call my presentation the challenge of water conservation, because right now we have to solve this problem. We don't know how to solve this problem. We're just happy with the tap on the tanker. We don't know the sources of water. We don't know what lies ahead. We don't know what we are going to give to our children. But we simply know that our ancestors have given us wells and wealth of water, which can be so relevant even today. So after 600, 900,000 years, we still celebrate these wells. But what are we going to give our next generations? Is it going to be a very broken down stage for them? Are we not going to give them water, clean air? This is something that bothers me every single day, even today. So I call it the challenge because it's a challenge for any of us to take up and work around. Most of our cities, right? You see places like this. Now you don't know what it is. You just get frustrated. You don't know what to do with this. And some people go to the next level and tweet or send a message to the government, or just be frustrated with the government and not knowing what to do, or some people just walk away, right? This is how our city is treated. We don't take pride in our country, India. So we think when we go to other countries, that's we enjoy these countries. But when it's our country, the moment we get off the flight in our airports, we think we have the right to throw, we have the right to litter, and we think that we can just treat nature the way we want. See what we found under this garbage, a beautiful heritage temple. This is in the middle of the city. So this is the story of most of our cities, where our urban development is not connected to water stories. All these water stories are invisible to us, so we have no clue what they do and what is their role, what is their part in groundwater, and how, if we improve our groundwater with rainwater harvesting, with these, how we can have clean water and guarantee this for generations ahead. That's what our ancestors did. So I started working on our own home first, and from there started working on lake restoration. So as an architect, I was very drawn to nature and sustainable living, because for me sustainable living was not just theory. Sustainable living had to be in practice. So I made my home tanker free. We live in the central business district of Hyderabad, and which is very, very tanker prone. So in that area, we made our home sustainable. We captured every drop of rainwater. We recycled most of our wastewater, and we grow our own vegetables too in the terrace. While I did all this, we achieved something, a tanker-free home. And in our community also, we made sure that we don't buy common tankers anymore. Once I have achieved these two, I said in my mind that, yeah, I can do something about this. But what I can do, I still didn't know. I started slowly engaging with an NGO, became a core member of the NGO, and started leading water initiatives for an NGO just by passion, just putting individual hours and trying to understand. That's when I understood how all of our cities today depend on water from rivers which come hundreds of kilometers away from our cities. That means our cities are not sustainable. That's why we need this water, which we have to get from other places. And our cities' groundwater is dipping year after year. Our population is growing, and we are seeing a huge climate change happening. So we see a lot of flooding or drought. I mean, it's kind of alternating every year. And it's kind of taking rounds with city after city. You can see Mumbai, then you saw Chennai, then you saw Hyderabad. So the story keeps moving. What is it that we can do to change our situation for water? Most of our cities, 70% of the sewage in our cities are not treated. They are all around us in lakes, nalas, and everywhere around us. And these are entering our core water systems. So what can we do with the lake? So I picked up a lake. I started working on this. And this is where the first time I faced communities, people. For the first time in my life, I was talking to strangers and I was trying to tell them I was wanting to change the scenario of this lake. So initially, a lot of complaints, like in our country, you want to do something sincerely, dutifully, and still you are, questioned. Well, I answered each of those questions. Well, they had this thing that whether I'm a politician, whether I'm from the government, or what is my agenda? I mean, why should a woman take up a water body and struggle so much, find out, I was mapping the place, I was opening 70 manholes around to figure out where are the sewage lines coming into the lake. And because in my head, I wanted to know what is the problem. And if I don't know what is the problem, how do I solve this? So I figured out there are 12 inlets to the lake. I figured out a lake has several ownerships in the government between the water board, the municipality, and so many people that I had to deal with, and the communities. It was not even easy to work with communities. So initially, I had zero support, I must say. But today, after 3.5 years of serious work on ground, I can happily say that there are 30,000 people around this lake who will listen to what I say and who will do the right things for the lake because they believe I'm doing something right for this lake. And you see on the left-hand side, these slides, I got communities to remove the sewage lines out of the lake. Now, nobody spends a rupee in our country just like that. To get them to do this, I had to do a lot of awareness, showcase water quality from their borewells, and make sure that they understood why they are doing it and what they are doing it for. So I made it data driven. I made the awareness create action on ground. And that's when I started engaging with schools around these lakes, religious institutions. I got a lot of temples, masjids, churches to do rainwater harvesting, so the thousands of people that come to these institutions can see, take inspiration, go back and make this happen in their own homes. We reached more than 60,000 kids in the first years of our awareness in schools in the city, because we think our children are we keep them in a very cushioned environment. They don't know what is the reality around. They only know the books and theory. But instead of taking, today that's why they've become the slogan generation, where they take placards and they talk about climate change and they say they demand climate change. So I go and tell them, take up a street, take up a building, or take up a well, or take up a park and make it rainwater harvesting, groundwater rich. Solve the problem. Our children are not taught to go out and solve the problem, which is why we as adults are like this today. We don't take time out to go and solve something right outside our house. We think we can solve so many things in this world, but we cannot solve one small thing lying right outside our house. When it is water, I don't know if we don't have respect, but I think as a religion, we have a lot of respect, because none of our Hindu rituals are done without invoking energies and water. Similarly, in a masjid, you basically, for wuzu, you need to wash your hands and feet, you energize and then go into prayers. So water is celebrated in every religion, but when you come out, it's a different scenario. It is not our priority anymore. So all these pain points, understanding step by step, how to talk to a very high-end community, how to talk to a government authority and loop them in, how to talk to a slum guy and still loop them in for water. So various strata and a lot of people that I connected to. I'm very proud to say that in a few masjids today, there are, the Masjid Sadr, he offers a 2-minute prayer for my family. I mean, that's the love and affection they have shown for the work I do. Initially, nobody cared, nobody knew what it was, but now as they see these replicable stories, as they see these success stories that's benefiting them, and now they know what was my vision and what am I actually trying to do. So most cities, if you see, we have enough rooftop rainwater if we store. It's enough for the entire population of the city for the whole year, just rainwater. But all of this we throw, we don't save, we make urban floods out of it. So fixing one block. See, I try to work citywide. I try to work with several authorities in the government, the MD of Water Board and the principal secretaries. But I realized it's very hard to make this change citywide working at the macro level. So I started going to the micro level and I started seeing a lot of change. So I broke down Hyderabad into 98 small micro watersheds, smaller blocks, where I could connect to people, I could talk to them, I could engage with them and make them be the change. So these are all the issues. Now every city resonates with these issues. So there is awareness to be built. There is a huge amount of water that we waste under flyovers. There we have to restore wells. We have to do common area rainwater harvesting. We need clean lakes. We need to plan a block. We need to scientifically understand what kind of structure is required where. We need to understand what is the pipe supply that's coming to a certain area, what is the rainfall that falls in that area, and what is the wastewater that we throw. What is the wastewater? What is the amount of rainwater that we throw? So what is utilized? What is not utilized? What is that water balance? And what when we do will help our generations? So in crux, understanding the problem and bringing out local solutions for water. So I worked around the lake that I rejuvenated, about 7 colonies. And today, each one of the presidents in that colony thanked me for the work that we have done so far. And also at that point, I thought not just working as an individual, as a designer or as a NGO. I saw a need to become an entrepreneur, to become a social enterprise, because my vision is larger, and just with awareness, we are not able to change, bring behavior change. So here is the story. So you can see this one block and the number of elements that we have done in this block for water. We restored wells, we restored lakes, we did common area rainwater harvesting, we arrested all the garbage, we made sure that no garbage enters the lake, and we made sure we sensitized the vendors, the street vendors, and many people around the lake to create a clean catchment. So by doing all this, we just see the after and before pictures. You will know from where to where. And this has improved, just these small interventions in a block in a 6 square kilometer area has benefited more than 3 lakh people, because this not only benefits that area, it also is a ripple effect. It takes the water, improves the groundwater, also bringing innovation to rainwater harvesting. We've done rainwater harvesting forever in the conventional method. So why not bring innovation to rainwater harvesting? So as a design studio, we started transforming as a water studio today, helping large institutions, industries, malls, hotels, because all of them need to do something to save our water for tomorrow. Because it's not enough just communities do. Every builder needs to adopt. So we started showcasing examples of how they can save. And many prestigious builders have empaneled us, have become part of the industry. So it's not just building and building. We've already concreted more than 60% of our cities. So where is the water going and where is the water? Because it's invisible, nobody bothers about it. And the well restorations we have done in the last 2 years, all these wells are heritage wells and literally covered in garbage, from nothing to become a beautiful water source today. As designers, we also plan the precinct. We work around the well and make sure that this doesn't become ever a dump yard. So what are those interventions that we take up? What is that context we create? And geotag these wells, so nobody can buy these spaces and nobody can fill it up in future. And also build a footprint. Each of these wells, we've done books documenting each of our effort, how we brought community together, how did we arm twist the government to become play a decent role in this, and how communities came together for this change. Yeah, and creating rain gardens, creating interesting amphitheaters, and making public spaces of these well restorations. We've done also a lot of work in the districts around Hyderabad with collectors who are very enthusiastic to work with us and showcase the stepwells as interesting public spaces. So we've had more than 3,000 people also attend these events. And so basically the idea is to connect people to their water resource. Earlier, that's how it used to be. They used to go draw water from the well or collect water from the well, sit there, talk to their friends. There was a connect to these wells and lakes. Today, we lost that touch. We only know the tap and the tanker. And since we don't know the resource, we ignore the resource, and they are dilapidated to such horrendous levels today. And while parks can become rainwater harvesting zones and lakes can become swamp parks, and we need not suffer flooding year after year in every, because the poorest people are the ones that take the brunt of everything in any city. So how to improve their lives, how not to get them dengue deaths, how not to flood their areas even if there is a huge amount of rainfall. All these ideas are what we work, and we make champions of people in their own zone to go and work in their zone to improve water. So in crux, all of this that I do today, 15 years back or 10 years back, I wouldn't even know any of this. I didn't know that I could do this much for water. It is just always as a woman, we think we underestimate ourselves a lot. We think that, who's going to, it's just one of us, and, look at how much work, and we don't know where to begin. We don't have the knowledge. We don't have the skill. This is what we think. But the moment we put passion on ground, like for your child, right? You would do anything for the child. You would do anything to make his life better. So like this, if you start looking at larger responsibilities, so I not only look at my family and home today, I look at larger responsibilities of what are the wins that we are going to get for the children of tomorrow. and how we can integrate government and communities. This is key. And honestly, I didn't know a single officer in the government. I would just go speak to them confidently and tell them my plan and ask them to handhold. And believe me, most of them have told me the government is not going to work with you. They don't know how to work with us. You will be disappointed. Yes, disappointments happen, but when you are persistent and if you're confident of a plan in place, if you know what to ask the government, they also can come along, is proof to the work that I have done. And also communities. All of us need a change, but we don't know where and how to get it. And I think more and more women involved in such basic requirements like water, I think we can make a huge change, because in our own homes, only a woman knows when to get water, when to get tanker, when is this drinking water bottle done, what do we do with water. When we manage water in our own homes, managing it in the city or at a national level and achieving those national goals for water is not a big thing at all for us. And I will stop.
I am speechless at the level of detail which you have shared and the scale at which you are doing these things, because water is something which is so precious, which cannot be created. You know, we can create bridges, we can create buildings, but water is something in which we need to save. You know, even in Delhi, in Dwarka, there are pockets where there are no water, and water tankers are, you know, every day we need to procure water tankers. Even when I visit to Maharashtra, there's so many places. So you are doing the essential work which is needed, and you have spent in time and energy to bring communities together, work with the government, liaising and engineering, everything. So I think that I apologize that we don't have enough time, and you need, I think, minimum an hour where you can explain each and everything in detail, and people can also ask questions and they can, you know, get their answers. So thank you so much for coming in today and sharing what you do, and that's great work which you do, which is very much needed by the society, by the country, and everyone else. So thank you once again. And
thank you. Any questions I would like to take? It's always nice to have an interaction.
Sure. And please unmute yourself and join me in facilitating Kalpana ji.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
It was a great thing that Kalpana ji is doing. Means hats off to you, Kalpana ji. You are taking so lot of pain for the society. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I'm sure we would invite you on a separate program where that will be exclusive to you, and you will have enough time, and everyone will be, you know, appreciative.
And also the funding I wanted to tell about, right? See, nobody gives a rupee, I was telling. We have come to a position where I got 1 crore funding for a well, just because people believe in your work. So I think there's a power of what we believe in, and I think women as such, we are innately empowered to pick and do what we want.
Yes, we can also connect you with the funding. You know, we have our network, so maybe we can connect offline and we can work something out.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again.
Happy Women's Day.
So that was Kalpana Ramesh for you. And now moving on to our next guest. Our next guest is Ritu Kaushal, and she is a healer, she is a tarot reader, and when she connects with the divination tools and the higher guidance which flows through her, and I have experienced it, and many of my friends have experienced it, it just flows through her. So, and today she's going to talk about how to navigate life through tarot. So without further ado, let me invite Ritu. Ritu ji, please, you're welcome.
थैंक यू. ओम शांति. आप मुझे सुन सकते हैं?
जी बिल्कुल सुन पा रहे.
तो आज का मेरा जो टॉपिक है, जो आपने मुझे विषय दिया है, वह है कि टैरेट किस प्रकार से पथ प्रदर्शक सिद्ध होते हैं. लेकिन उससे पहले मैं एक थोड़ी सी बात कहना चाहूंगी. यत्र नार्यस्तु पूज्यन्ते रमन्ते तत्र देवता. अर्थात जहाँ नारी की पूजा होती है, वहाँ देवता रमण करते हैं, अपना निवास स्थान बनाते हैं. किंतु यत्रा तस्तु न पूज्यन्ते सर्वास्त्र फलाह प्रिय, अर्थात जहाँ उसका अपमान होता है, निरादर होता है, वहां पर सभी पुण्य कर्म क्षीण हो जाते हैं, नष्ट हो जाते हैं, समाप्त हो जाते हैं। अब इसमें एक प्रश्न मैं ये भी कहना चाहूंगी कि हमारी टैरेट इंडस्ट्री जो है वो फीमेल्स द्वारा ही शासित होती है और सभी महिलाएं ही इसमें अच्छा कार्य कर रही हैं। और डोरीन वर्शू से लेकर हम एना टेलर, ये इन सिस्टर्स को देखेंगे, और जितनी भी है, डायना कूपर है, ये फीमेल्स ओरिएंटेड है। और जो बेसिक हम देखते हैं राइडर वेट, उसकी निर्मात्री भी एक महिला ही है, तो उनका भी बहुत बहुत आभार करती हूँ। पमेला कॉलमैन स्मिथ ने एक सुंदरतम चित्र सृष्टि का 78 कार्डों के भीतर समेटकर समस्त संसार को एक अद्भुत रचना दे डाली, तो उनका भी एक बहुत बहुत आभार है। तो इसमें अगर मैं बात करूं कि किस प्रकार टैरेट हमारे पथ प्रदर्शक हैं जीवन के कठिन और दुर्गम मार्गों में, तो स्पष्टतया एक उत्तम बात है। और आज आप सोच रहे होंगे कि आज ऋतु इतनी अच्छी हिंदी क्यों बोल रही है तो मैं आपको स्पष्ट कर दूं, हिंदी मेरी राष्ट्रभाषा भी है और मातृभाषा भी है। और जब मातृ दिवस है, महिला का दिवस है, तो आज मेरी भाषा का भी दिवस है और उसको मैं बोलूंगी तो मैं पहले बात करना चाहूंगी कार्ड की, ये स्ट्रेंथ कार्ड। पहले तो आप अधिकतर कार्ड्स के भीतर देखेंगे महिलाएं ही ज्यादा स्पष्ट कर रही हैं। स्त्री शक्ति एक भावनात्मक प्रत्यक्षीकरण है परमात्मा के सौंदर्य का, क्योंकि जितना सुंदर भावनाओं का आकलन और प्रदर्शन एक महिला करती है, इस संसार में कोई नहीं कर सकता। आप छोटी बच्ची को भी देखिएगा, तुरंत आकर्षित कर लेगी। तो ये एक बहुत ही अद्भुत है। और इसीलिए टैरेट में जब कोई फीमेल हार्ट यानी कि एक महिला का हृदय जुड़ जाता है तो वो अद्भुत हो जाती है। टैरेट से जीवन में हम बहुत ज्यादा उन्नति के मार्ग अपने लिए खोल सकते हैं। और अपनी दुविधा के समय में सबसे महत्वपूर्ण एक शिक्षक होता है टैरेट। टैरेट के भीतर एक कार्ड आता है जिसे हम हायरोफेंट कहते हैं, और एक कार्ड आता है जो हमें दूर की सोचने की सलाह देता है। ये पुरुष कार्ड है। तो पुरुष ये जो कार्ड जब आते हैं तो हमें सीख देते हैं कि वैसे तो आप अपने जीवन के साथ बहुत सुंदर प्रयोग कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी एक घटना को अंजाम दे रहे हैं, किंतु उससे भी सुंदर आयाम अगर निर्माण करना चाहते हैं, उससे भी सुंदर अगर कुछ पाना चाहते हैं, कुछ उत्तम से भी श्रेष्ठ ले जाना चाहते हैं, तो इस समय आपको एक पुरुष की सहायता की आवश्यकता है। तो ये इसका एक मूल है कि आपकी प्रस्तुत समस्या के ऊपर सर्वोच्च आकलन टैरेट से सरलता से आता है। उदाहरण के लिए कहना चाहूंगी, एक मेरे भाई हैं, उनकी जन्म काल से ही देह में ऐसी समस्या है कि वो व्हील चेयर के ऊपर है, उनके हाथ चलते हैं, नीचे की जो देह है उसे लकवाग्रस्त है। और उसके साथ ही उन्हें एक ऐसी बीमारी है कि अगर उन्हें छोटी सी खरोंच भी लग जाती है तो इस प्रकार रक्त बहता है कि जो जानलेवा भी सिद्ध हो सकता है। निराशा के जीवन में थे और उन्होंने सोच लिया था संसार में उनके लिए कुछ भी नहीं है। पिछले लॉकडाउन में जो 22 मार्च को हुआ उस मिले मुझसे उन्होंने बात की और कहा कि बहन मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है। मैंने कहा पैसे मुझे चाहिए भी नहीं, आप मेरी तरफ से उपहार स्वरूप एक रीडिंग ले लो। उन्होंने कभी रीडिंग के विषय में सुना नहीं था। उस समय मैंने उन्हें कहा कि आप निराश ना हो, जीवन में बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिन्हें कर सकते हैं और परमात्मा ने किसी को भी अपूर्ण नहीं बनाया। अगर उसने आपको एक कष्ट दिया है तो उसका भी कोई एक कारण होगा। इसके बाद मैंने उन्हें कुछ उपचार बताए, जैसे कि हम टैरेट, मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि टैरेट रीडिंग तब तक व्यर्थ है जब तक हम सॉल्यूशंस नहीं बताते, जब तक उपचार नहीं बताते। तो उन्होंने वो किए। 6 माह के बाद उन्हें एक नौकरी मिली और वो वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे हैं। ये वो व्यक्ति था जो सोच रहा था कि आत्महत्या ही सबसे अच्छा उपचार है, मेरे लिए तो सृष्टि खत्म है। दूसरे एक मेरे भाई हैं, तो वो मुझसे मिले और ये उस समय की बात है जब मैं टैरेट में आई ही थी। तो मेरे लिए भी नया नया था, मैंने उनके लिए रीडिंग किया। वो बहुत अच्छी जॉब में थे, बेंगलोर के अंदर एक बहुत ही नामचीन कंपनी में ऊंची पोस्ट पर थे, लेकिन जीवन से उदास निराश कि मेरा अपने काम में मन नहीं लगता, मैं तो आई डोंट वांट टू डू दिस वर्क। तो उस समय मैंने उनसे कहा कि आप इसको छोड़िए नहीं, आप 15 दिन का अवकाश लें, कहीं घूम फिर आए, थोड़ा व्यायाम करें, अच्छे फल वगैरह खाएं और उसके बाद अपने काम पर जाएं, आपको एक परिवर्तन महसूस होगा। उन्होंने मेरी बात को ध्यान नहीं दिया कि भाई ये तो लड़की है, छोटी है और मेरे को इससे ज्यादा अनुभव है, इसे कंपनी के काम का अनुभव नहीं है। अब उन्होंने नहीं मेरी बात मानी और उन्होंने त्याग पत्र दे दिया। पूरे 5 वर्ष बेरोजगारी का दंश झेला, और बेरोजगार होने पर समाज किस प्रकार हमारे साथ व्यवहार करता है ये भी सभी जानते हैं, और वो भी उस व्यक्ति को जो एक कंपनी में टॉप पोजीशन पे है और उसके बाद उसका त्याग पत्र देकर आ जाए। अब उनको जब इस बात का अनुभव हुआ, तब 2 वर्ष बाद उन्होंने मुझसे संपर्क किया और तब से लेके आज तक निरंतर मेरे संपर्क में है। और मैं आपको बता दूं कि वो छोटे से छोटे किसी भी इवेंट और ट्रांजैक्शन के लिए मुझसे रीडिंग लेते हैं। वो कहते हैं कि गलत डिसीजन लेने से अच्छा है एक बेहतरीन गाइडेंस होना चाहिए। इसमें रविंदर भाई, एक टैरेट रीडर का काम इतना ही नहीं है कि वो 78 कार्ड को खोले और बता दे। एक जरूरी होता है पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग, एक जरूरी बात होती है हमारे बोलने की कला, क्योंकि कार्ड तो वही है। डेथ कार्ड दिखाकर लोग कह देते हैं तो तुम मरने वाले हो, या तेरे जीवन में इतना भयंकर तूफान आएगा कि तू झेल नहीं पाएगा। मैं कहती हूँ बहुत अच्छा होने वाला है, आपके जीवन की तकलीफें जाने वाली हैं, एनर्जी से भरपूर रहो, आपको बहुत सारे पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आने वाली है, उसे एकदम सोख लेना है, अपने अंदर बन जाना है आपको। आज की आज जॉन अब्राहम। तो ये एक तरीका है। किसी से सत्य बोलना बहुत ही आवश्यक है, और सत्य कड़वा नहीं होता, मैं इस बात से सहमत नहीं हूँ। सत्य से मीठा कुछ भी नहीं है, बोलने वाले की वाणी है, और ये टैरेट का एक मुख्य पार्ट है। मैं टैरेट के साथ न्यूमेरोलॉजी भी करती हूँ, एस्ट्रोलॉजी भी करती हूँ, रेकी भी करती हूँ, मैग्नीफाइड हीलिंग भी करती हूँ, सिखाती भी हूँ। उसके अलावा मैं एंजल्स के भी कोर्सेस कराती हूँ, लामा फेरा टीचर हूँ और सेशंस भी देती हूँ, योग माया भी सिखाती हूँ, और उसके अलावा मैं महाअवतार बाबा जी के अट्यूनमेंट्स भी देती हूँ और उनकी हीलिंग कैसे करते हैं वो भी सिखाती हूँ। सबके भीतर मैंने एक चीज पाई कि जब किसी का हृदय टूटा हो तो उसे एक मीठा अनुभव देना चाहिए, ना कि कड़वाहट। टैरेट का ये रूप एक अद्भुत होता है कि आप के जीवन की 78 जो स्टेजेस होती हैं, ये हर उस स्टेज के विषय में एक स्पष्ट चित्रण देता है। मैं जब एस ऑफ कप्स देखती हूँ किसी के लिए तो मैं तुरंत उससे कह देती हूँ आप तो सफलता के पथ पर हैं। लेकिन जब कभी मेरे सामने कोई ऐसा कार्ड आ जाता है जो बताता है कि इस व्यक्ति के जीवन में अभी बहुत संघर्ष है और इसे अभी और इंतजार करना है, तो उस समय मैं बहुत ही स्नेह से कहती हूँ अभी प्रयास करते रहो, फल तो आपको मिलना ही है, लेकिन थोड़ा परिश्रम और। तो ये एक अपने आप में बहुत ही अद्भुत तरीका है। और इन सभी कार्ड्स में एक कार्ड है जो मुझे बहुत ही आकर्षित करते हैं, वो है क्वीन वाला। अब इस क्वीन का मुझे बहुत ही पसंद है, ये उदासी भी बैठी है, इसके हाथ में भी कॉइन है। अगर ये किसी के लिए आए तो मैं क्या समझूं, उससे क्या कहूं? उससे सीधा और स्पष्ट ये है कि आपका ये बहुत ही अच्छा कार्ड आया है और ये स्त्री ऊर्जा के उदय का समय है, आप पर कृपा है और आपका लाभ होने वाला है आपके कार्य में। लेकिन अहंकार से अपने आप को बचाइए और भू संपर्क में रहें, अर्थात ग्राउंडिंग या अर्थिंग करते रहें। अब मेरे पास कोई आए और आए नहीं आते हैं और विवाह संबंधी समस्या, जो आजकल एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या है और इसमें सबसे अधिक लोग आते हैं, तो उनके लिए टैरेट के अंदर बहुत अच्छे गाइडेंस होते हैं। जैसे कि हम पहले ही बता देते हैं कि ये संबंध से आपको कोई लाभ नहीं होगा और इसे परमात्मा का आशीर्वाद है कि मेरी आज तक रीडिंग्स गलत नहीं गई हैं। फिर उसमें भी एक आगे चरण आता है कि किसी किसी का इतना सुंदर मेल होता है लेकिन वो विवाह करना नहीं चाहते, तो यहाँ पर हम दुविधा में आते हैं। तो ऐसी स्थिति में हम अपना कार्य करें और उसे बता दें। दूसरा, फाइनेंशियली जब समस्या हमारे पास आते हैं, आर्थिक हितों के लेकर लोग आते हैं, आर्थिक हितों में टैरेट किस प्रकार मार्गदर्शन करें। मेरे ख्याल से इसमें सबसे ज्यादा प्रश्न पूछे जाते हैं। ये पहला सबसे अधिक तो आर्थिक हित होते हैं और दूसरे होते हैं संबंध, और टैरेट इसमें एक बहुत ही अच्छा मार्गदर्शन करते हैं। और क्योंकि मैं एस्ट्रोलॉजी न्यूमेरोलॉजी से हूँ, हिंदू हूँ और मेरी संगत पंडित और ब्राह्मणों की रही है, तो मेरे उपचार भी उससे संबंधित है। मैं लाल किताब के भी उपाय बताती हूँ। तो मैंने अक्सर यही देखा है कि मेरे पास जो रीडिंग लेने आए और जिन्होंने अच्छे से किया, उनको हमेशा लाभ ही मिला है। और अगर मैं अपने जीवन की भी बात करूं, तो जब मैं अपनी टीचर से सीखने गई थी, आनंदी देवी थी जिनसे मैंने सीखा था, तो उन्होंने, जब मैं उनसे लामा फेरा कर मर्लिन ट्रिनिटी हीलिंग कोर्स किया था और उसके 2-3 महीने बाद मैंने लामा फेरा किया, तो उन्होंने कहा कि ऋतु तुम समय नष्ट कर रही हो, वैसे तो बुद्धा की एनर्जी तुम में पहले से ही है, लेकिन एक्चुअली तो तुम बनी इसलिए हो कि टैरेट रीडिंग करो और टैरेट रीडिंग द्वारा ही मार्गदर्शन करो, क्योंकि तुम इसी के लिए बनी हो। तो इसका एक सार्थक सा उपयोग ये
आप
है कि
अपना
जब
कैमरा भी खोल देना, हमें देखना है कि आप
हम सब
हाँ, थैंक यू।
स्त्री शक्ति आई थिंक स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट वुमन ऑफ दिस एंटायर ग्रुप। साइड में वेट लिफ्टिंग भी करती हूँ, योगा भी करती हूँ, तो इसीलिए डोले दिखाने का अधिकार रखती हूँ। तो मैं यही कहना चाह रही थी कि उसके बाद मेरे भी जीवन में बदलाव आया। जिन छोटी छोटी समस्याओं को लेकर मैं डिस्टर्ब होती थी, परेशान होती थी, मैं पिछले दिसंबर से बहुत बीमार हूँ और उस हर बीमारी के क्षेत्र में भी मैंने अपने आप को बहुत अच्छे से स्ट्रेन किया है और इस टाइम तो मैं काफी रिकवर कर चुकी हूँ। स्टिल मेरे को टॉन्सिल्स है, बोलने में तकलीफ हो रही है, लेकिन मैं बोल पा रही हूँ, ये शक्ति मुझे वहां से आ रही है। तो इसी के साथ मैं रैप अप करूंगी और एक चीज और मैं कहूंगी, पुरुष और प्रकृति यानी कि स्त्री और पुरुष दोनों एक दूसरे के बिना अधूरे हैं, किसी एक से सृष्टि नहीं बनती। अगर स्त्री है तो उसे पुरुष भी चाहिए का साथ भी चाहिए और पुरुष है तो वो भी स्त्री के बिना अधूरा है। थैंक यू वेरी मच रविंदर भाई और आप सभी को मेरा बहुत सारा प्रेम। ओम शांति।
थैंक यू वेरी मच रितु जी, आपने इतनी अच्छी बातें बताई और खास करके जब आप कहते हैं कि जो व्यक्ति अपने जीवन की लौ को बुझाने पर आ जाए, उसको यदि आप आशावान बना सकते हैं, उससे ज्यादा सार्थक कोई कार्य नहीं हो सकता। तो आप और दूसरे हीलर और कोचेस यही कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत साधुवाद।
केसेस मेरे पास बहुत ज्यादा भेजते हैं
जी, तो उसके लिए हम आपका धन्यवाद भी करना चाहेंगे ये सर्टिफिकेट के द्वारा। तो प्लीज एवरीवन अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड जॉइन मी इन थैंकिंग एंड अप्रिशिएटिंग रितु जी।
ओम शांति।
थैंक यू।
हाँ जी,
थैंक यू मैम।
So now moving on to our next guest speaker. Her name is Jaspreet Kaur, and she is a partner at Echo LED with office at Sector 47 and Badshahpur near Gurgaon. And Jaspreet is President Award holder from none other than Missile Man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And she is a gal full of passion and life, eager to take every challenge of life with great positivity to complement her go-getter attitude. She is blessed with a great confidence. She aims to add value to the society by lighting each and every road of the world with their lighting solutions to ensure that women feel safe while walking on the road. Hailing from a small place in Haryana, she aims to conquer the world. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Jaspreet Kaur to you.
Thank you so much, Ravinder ji, for the introduction, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure listening to you, and trust me, it's a pleasure to share this platform with you as well. And when I was approached to share my story here, I thought, why not to share a story which everyone loves to hear, which is real life story. As Ravinderji mentioned, I come from a very small place in Haryana, but universe had been very, very kind to me. And hence, I had been lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time, to have big dreams and to hustle for them. Before you presume, let me correct you here that the journey wasn't easy. You always have to pay a cost to live your dreams. And most of us here would agree that being a woman, you have to pay a little extra. Life put you in such a certain conditions and validates your passion there. As a schoolgirl, I just had one dream, to pursue my education overseas, have a settled career there. But the life had a different plan for me, and Ritu would agree there. I was denied to have that right because of XYZ reason. But before you presume or assume, let me tell you my credential. By the time I completed my 12th, I was already a Rashtrapati Award holder. I was a merit holder in my education. But as I said, my life had a different plan for me. But the girl who had no other plan was wondering in her own world that which direction I have to move on. Finally, I landed upon a job. Not up to my expectation. I still tried and trusted the universe. It shall work out. Worked hard. Did fine. Got exploited at times. Rejected many offers. Blah, 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 blah. Here comes my marriage. Still flowing directionless. Pacifying myself. But there's no tragic story here. Life worked fine. I gave birth to a baby boy who is now 6 years old. But the career took a U-turn. The girl who only dreamt about a great career was living a great life, but was unable to explain to the society that she is craving hard for an amazing career. Not even knowing what an amazing career for her looks like. Still, having the seeds of that little girl's dream in her mind of having overseas education and income, she switched from a banking job to multinational. But how could the world do something good to you when you yourself do not know what you want? All I knew was I do not want to spend my life in this cubicle. I'm born to fly. I'm not doing justice to the skill set I'm blessed with. I'm born to do something exceptional. Finally started landing up on good jobs where skill set were being utilized. However, fire in the belly was still not quite. Because that fixed schedule was somewhere putting limitations on me. The job KPIs was somewhere holding me back. I wanted to lead by example. I wanted to create an impact. Finally, after switching many jobs, I thought of moving to our family business, which is into LED lights. But most of us would agree here, if making a space in a job is difficult, creating an impact as a female in a family business is next to impossible. But again, as I said, universe had been kind to at least acknowledge my passion. And everything I tried in my business worked wonder. And finally, I fetched my position. I'm partner with Eco LED Lights, taking care of sales and marketing, delivering some exceptional lighting solutions, trying to create an impact in this male-dominated industry. I was exceptionally supported by universe. I'm a member to a network called BNI, which taught me hard lessons of entrepreneurship, connected me with many entrepreneurs with the same passion, inspiring each other. No doubt, I'm still in the process of identifying universe's plan for me, but loving the journey so far. Thank you so much for your patience, love, and support. Signing off, Jaspreet Kaur. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaspreet, for sharing your story. And I am always in awe of people who have the courage to leave their job, because I have been there, at least 4 or 5 times. I left my job, I put in money for a business, and then I went back. I went back and forth till one fine day, I let my boss fire me. And then I said that I'm not going back. So I know what it takes. And I salute you for that. And everyone who is in your shoes. And it is people like you who are inspiring others that yes, it is difficult, but it is doable. You have this power within you, which you can summon and you can do it. So thank you for sharing your story. Thank you very much. And we would love to have you back again some other time.
That's really very inspiring. I'll connect with you and I'll share my story with you also, because
I'm not for sure.
You're leaving, so you'll not be able to listen to my story, what I want to tell. Thank you so much.
I'll try to.
Thank you, Jaspreet. And before you leave, we would like to give you a token of appreciation. So everyone, please unmute yourself and join me in applauding. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Now moving to our next guest speaker. Her name is Ritu Sharma. And most of the people after education, they either look for a job, or if their family is into a business, then they go into a business. But what she did after completing, she studied a specialized field, which is stock market trading. And she became a stock market trader as well as a trainer. So she studied in-depth stock market trading strategies, and she started sharing those strategies for trading and investment with her students. And she runs a YouTube channel called Zero to Hero in Stock Market. And she has a strong student community whom she teaches stock market trading strategies. And she also shares daily Nifty outlook on her YouTube channel. So without further ado, let me welcome Ritu Sharma. Rituji, please, the stage is yours.
Yes, hello everyone. I hope all are fine. And let me tell about first of my journey. Then tell about topic about stock market. कि stock market क्या होता है. And काफी लोग बोलते हैं कि stock market gambling है. And my family and my relatives also go, what are you doing? You are doing stock market, is gambling. कभी इसमें पैसा नहीं बनेगा. And आपने क्या business choose किया है? क्या आप अपना और आगे study करो, then कुछ job करो, ये government job की apply करो. But firstly मेरा भी था कि हाँ मुझे government job भी कुछ वहीं सिर्फ करना, उसकी कुछ preparation करनी है. But था कि मुझे stock market ही करना है. मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं मुझे stock market करना है, कभी भी नहीं, never imagine. But someday my brother come with me and doing trading with myself, and I see he was doing trading. And मैंने पूछा भाई तू ये क्या कर रहा है? तो बोला मैं trading कर रहा हूँ. तो मैंने पूछा ये होता क्या है? And then थोड़ा सा उससे कुछ knowledge लिया. And फिर मुझे थोड़ा interest आया इस field में. And उस time मैं college में ही थी. उस time मैं अपना college ही कर रही थी उस time. एंड थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट आया. फिर आफ्टर कॉलेज के साथ साथ ही मैंने स्टॉक मार्केट भी थोड़ा सीखना स्टार्ट किया. थोड़ा सीखा, यूट्यूब से भी सीखा, गूगल से भी सीखा, एंड काफी कोर्सेज भी किए. देन अभी मैं फुल टाइम ट्रेडर हूँ एंड मैं ट्रेनर भी हूँ. ओके, बट अभी तो ये चल ही रहा है. देन मैं आपको बताती हूँ कि मैं स्टॉक मार्केट की क्या, काफी लोग बोलते हैं कि कंप्लीटली गैम्बलिंग है, बट कैसे आप इसको विदाउट गैम्बलिंग बना सकते हो. आप कोई भी बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हो, कुछ भी एनीबॉडी कोई भी बिजनेस आप लेते हो, तो बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने के लिए मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट आपको 5 to 10 लाख आपका होता ही. आप एक कैफे भी ओपन करते हो तो, राइट. बट स्टॉक मार्केट में अगर आप 5 लाख से भी ट्रेडिंग स्टार्ट करते हो, ऐसा नहीं कि आपको 5 लाख से ही करना है, आप 1000 रुपीज से भी कर सकते हो. एंड आप उसमें से कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट भी कर सकते हो. जो आपने कैफे ओपन किया है, उस कैफे में ऐसा नहीं कि आपका 100% कैफे वाला बिजनेस चलेगा ही, राइट. 100% श्योरिटी नहीं कि वो भी आपका बिजनेस चलेगा. एंड वहां पे कंप्लीटली डूबने का खतरा होता है कि आपका कंप्लीटली डैमेज हो जाएगा मनी. बट स्टॉक मार्केट में एक ऐसा भी पोजीशन होता है कंप्लीट मनी आपका नहीं डूबता अगर आप एक प्रॉपर स्ट्रेटेजी के साथ ट्रेड करते हो. तो मान लो आपने स्टार्ट किया 1 लाख रुपीज से स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना. ओके, अब आप पे डिपेंड है कि आप उस पर रिस्क कितना ले रहे हो. ओके, आप उस पर जो रिस्क ले रहे हो, आप 500 का ले रहे हो, 100 का ले रहे हो, या फिर 100 रुपीज का ले रहे हो, यूएस डिपेंड. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हम स्टॉक मार्केट में बड़ा ही लॉस कर सकते हैं. ओके, अगर आप लॉन्गर टाइम ऑफ पीरियड में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना चाहते हो, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप 100 साल का रिकॉर्ड चेक कर लो कि कोई भी आप अच्छी वाले शेयर या कुछ भी आप निफ्टी 100 वाले 100 साल का ट्रैक चेक करो कि उन्होंने कितना ग्रो किया. ओके, तो आपको खुद ही नॉलेज मिलेगी हाँ स्टॉक मार्केट से पैसा बनता है या नहीं बनता। तो आई होप आप सभी को थोड़ा लगाओ कि हाँ स्टॉक मार्केट से पैसा बनता है, राइट। तो स्टॉक मार्केट से पैसा बनता है, बट उससे पहले आपको स्टॉक मार्केट के बारे में कंप्लीट नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, फिर ही आपको उसमें एंटर करना चाहिए। थैंक यू एवरीवन फॉर लिसनिंग।
थैंक यू रितु जी। मुझे लगता है कि जो आज बैठे थे फेंस पे वो अब स्टॉक मार्केट में कूद पड़ेंगे। एंड Jaspreet has some question.
Yes, Ritu, I would request you to share your YouTube channel link here or maybe in the group.
Okay,
And I think what I'm going to do, जितने भी हमारे स्पीकर्स हैं सबके फोन नंबर, सबके सोशल मीडिया चैनल्स, because why we made everyone register is we have your emails, we have your phone numbers, and we will share all the information. सारे स्पीकर्स का सारा इंफॉर्मेशन हम सबके साथ शेयर करेंगे। So thank you Ritu ji, and आपके लिए token of appreciation. Everyone please unmute yourself and let's appreciate Ritu ji. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Congratulations, Ritu. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for everyone.
Congratulations.
The next speaker, who is Nipuna Ghosh. Nipuna Ghosh is a mom who has more than 14 years of corporate experience in human resource and digital marketing. And she left the love of corporate ladder just to help others in their life journey. She is now a past life regressionist and healer, tarot reader, and a switch word expert. She is also diving down as a numerologist to help people in a better way. Other than helping people to grow in their life, she is an amateur photographer and traveler who now travels with her daughter, who is a 2-year-old toddler, who is her biggest strength in life. She feels that she gets wings when she travels with her little one. So please welcome Nipuna Ghosh.
Thank you, Ravinder ji. Thank you very much for giving me this divine opportunity. I think everybody can listen me.
Yes.
Yes, we can listen.
Yes, so I'm blessed to have this platform for myself. So before I start, I would give a very small sneak peek of my life. So I'm from a very small place in MP known as Amlai. शायद मैप में आपको मिले भी ना इतनी छोटी जगह से. And being a girl child, coming to Delhi is not a cakewalk for me. I struggled in every field, in education, in career, in every field, and finally I am here. So there is only one dream in my childhood days. लड़कियों के बहुत सपने होते हैं, लेकिन मेरा सिर्फ एक ही सपना था कि मुझे किसी भी हालत में दिल्ली या मुंबई जाना है for my career. एक ही सपना लेके मैं बड़ी हुई. And with that dream, I completed my graduation and then moved to Delhi for my MBA. And then, then the corporate journey began and the rest is history. Within 5 and 6 years, I started earning a 6-figure income and I was on top of the world, but somewhere I was very much dissatisfied. मुझे लग रहा था कहीं ना कहीं कुछ तो कमी है जो मुझे satisfy नहीं कर रहा. And that is the reason why I just left my corporate job. And before leaving my corporate job, और मैं जानती भी थी कि इतना अच्छा एक पोजीशन, इतना अच्छा पैसा मिलने के बाद अगर आप जॉब छोड़ देते हो only because it is not satisfying you, so वो कहीं ना कहीं आप पे भी खलती है और आपकी फैमिलीज पे भी खलती है. So with that, what I did is I started, there are a lot of things happened also in between in my life. So I started doing the past life regression. How I got introduced in my childhood days, not even childhood, in my college days, I have heard about Dr. Brian Weiss, who have wrote many books about past life regressions. And after reading all those things, I got interested about that what past life is all about. And with that curiosity, I just dived down into it. So सबसे पहले बात करते हैं कि basically जो ये है, ये पास्ट लाइफ होता क्या है. कभी आपको भी पता होगा दैट देयर इज मल्टीपल पास्ट लाइफ्स. हमारा एक पास्ट लाइफ नहीं होता है, हमारे मल्टीपल पास्ट लाइफ्स होते हैं और वो बहुत ही अनकाउंटेबल होते हैं. और हर पास्ट लाइफ से ना हमारे पास कुछ ना कुछ बिलीव्स आते हैं. हमारे लाइफ में जो भी सिचुएशन होता है वो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे किसी पिछले बिलीफ से लेके हमारे लाइफ में आता है. कभी कभी ऐसा होता होगा दैट यू हैव अ वेरी विविड ड्रीम एट नाइट एंड व्हेन यू वेक अप यू थिंक दैट ये तो मेरे साथ हो रहा था, ये हाँ तो मैं ही था या मैं ही थी, लेकिन वो अभी मेरा प्रेजेंट नहीं है. that is because we are having a past life dream जहाँ पे हम कुछ कर रहे होते हैं. So कहाँ से आती हैं ये चीजें? So let's talk about belief. Let me take you to an example. The example is like I have a client जिसकी शादी नहीं हो रही थी काफी दिनों से. मतलब जब भी उसकी शादी तय होती थी उसकी शादी टूट जाती थी. एंगेजमेंट हुआ एक के साथ टूट गई. She got she got engaged with some other person. लव मैरिज था लेकिन वो भी नहीं हो पाया. शादी के पहले दिन लड़के ने मना कर दिया. इस टाइप से उसके 4 शादियां ऐसे टूट गई. And then she got connected with me and said that I am into this situation. मेरी शादी होती नहीं है. शादी कभी एंगेजमेंट होने के बाद टूट जाती है, कभी पहले टूट जाती है, कभी शादी के पहले दिन टूट जाती है. And then what we did is, I did the past life regression with her and I dwelled down into her lot of past lives where there was a belief system in her past lives जहाँ से उसका ये जो belief system था उसमें आया था कि she just don't want to get married because marriage is a risk. अगर शादी होती है तो she have to create a child also. So there is a fear of creating a child. There is a fear that the mate usually leaves her. There are a lot of past lives जहाँ पे उसके mates ने उसे छोड़ दिया. वहां से ये belief system आ गया कि शादियां अच्छी नहीं होती, शादी करने पे पेन होता है, mates हमें छोड़ देते हैं. तो there are lot of belief system, and due to those past belief systems, in this lifetime she her soul decided not to get married. और उसी वजह से शादियां तय होती हैं लेकिन आखिर में वो शादी टूट जाती है. एंगेजमेंट के बाद टूटती है, एंगेजमेंट के पहले टूटती है, शादी के जस्ट पहले दिन लड़का मना कर देता है. ऐसे करके 3-4 शादियां टूट चुकी हैं. Finally, we did the healings. There are a lot of multiple healing sessions that took place with that lady, and finally she got married, and now she is of course very happily living her life. So this is one of the example of the past lives. So what are our present? हमारे decisions जो होते हैं ना, हम वो कैसे लेते हैं? एक हम अपनी belief system से लेते हैं जो कि हमारे past में हुआ होता है, चाहे वो past lives हो, चाहे वो इस लाइफ टाइम का ही हमारा पास्ट हो. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मैंने साइकिल सीखते वक्त मैं गिर गई और मुझे चोट लगा तो मैं अपने बच्चे को भी साइकिल नहीं सीखने दूंगी, या सीखेगा भी मेरा बच्चा तो मैं उसे बिल्कुल कैप वगैरह पहना के और सारे वो यंत्र पहना के फिर मैं उसको सड़क में भेजूंगी सो दैट उसे चोट ना लगे. वो तो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस था ना कि मैं गिर गई थी और मुझे चोट लगी थी. हो सकता है मेरे बच्चे का वो एक्सपीरियंस ना हो, लेकिन फिर भी मुझे फियर होता है कि मेरा बच्चा गिर जाएगा, है ना, इसलिए शायद मैं उसे साइकिल सीखने ही नहीं दूंगी. तो ये आया है मेरे पास्ट से. सो पास्ट लाइफ के बिलीव से भी कुछ हो सकते हैं, एंड प्रेजेंट लाइफ के भी जो हमारे जो पास्ट इंसिडेंट्स हैं उससे भी बिलीव हो सकते हैं. सेकेंड पार्ट आता है कि हम डिसीजंस इसलिए नहीं लेते क्योंकि हमें फ्यूचर का फियर होता है. फ्यूचर का फियर कैसे होता है कि अगर मैंने ये डिसीजन ले लिया तो आगे चल के हो सकता है ये खराब हो जाए. हम अपने लाइफ में फियर में ही जीते रहते हैं कि ये होगा तो ये हो जाएगा, ये होगा तो ये हो जाएगा, और इस कंडीशन में हम अपना प्रेजेंट लाइफ जीना ही भूल जाते हैं. वी जस्ट डोंट लिव आवर प्रेजेंट लाइफ. सो लेट मी आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज फ्यूचर? फ्यूचर आखिर क्या है? फ्यूचर तो वही है ना जो हम आज क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. आज हम जो भी एनर्जी दे रहे हैं अपने फ्यूचर को, चाहे पॉजिटिव दें या चाहे नेगेटिव दें, जो भी एनर्जी देते हैं वो एनर्जी से ही हमारा फ्यूचर क्रिएट होता है. फ्यूचर कहीं से आता नहीं है. अब यहाँ पे मैं एक बात बताऊंगी कि हम यूजुअली बोलते हैं ना बातों बातों में कि दिन में ना एक बार मुंह में सरस्वती जी बसती हैं तो अच्छा बोलो. तो दिन में एक बार नहीं बसती, वो पूरे दिन होती हैं. आप अच्छा बोलते हो, आप अच्छा क्रिएट करते हो. आप खराब बोलते हो अपने लिए, आप खराब क्रिएट करते हो अपना फ्यूचर. द ओनली थिंग इज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी वी आर सेंडिंग टू द यूनिवर्स, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मैसेज वी आर गिविंग टू द यूनिवर्स. दैट्स इट. सो इस तरीके से होता है. सो किसी भी सिचुएशन में अगर आप पॉजिटिव सोचोगे आगे जाके भी आपका पॉजिटिव होगा. सो विद दैट, सिंस वी आर रनिंग अ वेरी शॉर्ट टाइम, सो आई वुड लाइक टू रैप अप ओवर हियर. व्हाट आई वुड ओनली सजेस्ट इज, जो भी आप करो अपने प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन में रह के करो, एंड प्रेजेंट में अच्छा सोचो, सो दैट अच्छी एनर्जीज दो, पॉजिटिव एनर्जीज दो, सो दैट आपका जो फ्यूचर है वो फ्यूचर अच्छा बने. एंड पास्ट की बिलीव्स ऑफ कोर्स हम आज डिलीट कर सकते हैं और हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. So with this, I would like to wrap up this session. If anybody wants to, connect with me and get into the more in-depth knowledge, of course, Ravinder ji is here to help out by sharing the contact details. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nipuna ji. Thank you. And I was in IT for 20 years, and I left that and I got into healing and coaching. And I meet lawyers and HR professionals जो वो corporate job छोड़ के अभी वो past life healing, tarot और divination sciences में हैं. So which is a great thing that आज मुझे आपके थ्रू पता चला कि शादी जो टूटती है वो पास्ट लाइफ में देख के भी बचाई जा सकती है. तो आपको डिवोर्स लॉयर नहीं, आपको निपुणा जी भी आपकी शादी बचा सकती हैं. तो इनका नंबर हम आपसे शेयर कर देंगे. तो गॉड फॉरबिड इफ यू हैव एनी such issues, or you can go to her and she'll solve your problem. So thank you once again, Nipuna ji, for joining. And
यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगी. ये मेरा पर्सनल लाइफ का है. I'm unable to have my baby. I struggled, around 8 long years in my marriage to have a baby. सब कुछ करवा लिया, मंदिर, मस्जिद, गुरुद्वारा, दरगाह, IVF, IUI, जितनी चीजें हैं वो सब करवा ली. एंड फाइनली मुझे सोल्यूशन पास्ट लाइफ्स में मिले. मैंने हीलिंग करी अपने पास्ट लाइफ्स की, बहुत कुछ हुआ. एंड आफ्टर 8 long years of my marriage I have a baby now. So I'm so proud of that, because मैंने वो चीज अपने लाइफ में मैनिफेस्ट की, तभी मैं लोगों को हेल्प करना चाहती हूँ.
बिल्कुल, जब हमारी लाइफ इंपैक्ट करती है then we go and share with others. So thank you for sharing that experience. And again, a token of appreciation for Nipuna ji for sharing her wisdom with us today. So please join me in appreciating Nipuna ji.
Thank you, Nipuna ji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Delhi.
My birthplace.
सबके details भेज दिए जाएंगे, and you'll know her website, her YouTube channel, and phone numbers. On
Sure.
in this sequence, our next guest is Dr. Girishika Singla, and she is a lawyer admitted and practicing in India with over 11 years of legal experience in the Supreme Court of India, Delhi High Court, and various district courts, along with teaching experience at a law school. And she was awarded gold medal for being university topper in LLB honors course, and awarded certificates of merit for securing top position in all the semesters in the entire law school. Awarded memento for exemplary academic performance in the law school, qualified national eligibility test for assistant professor for eligibility for assistant professor in 2014. And she was also awarded certificate from the Supreme Court of India for passing advocate on record examination in 2018. And she has co-authored a chapter, The Surrogate Motherhood and Indian Society, published in a book titled as Engendering Women in India, and published several research papers in international journals. She presented a paper titled Surrogate Motherhood and Baby Business, and worked as a member in the National Conference on Protection of Marginalized Group of India. So I welcome Dr. Girishika. Please, the floor is yours.
Unmute yourself, Dr. Singla.
Yeah, please unmute yourself.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for informing me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here amongst so renowned speakers. I think I am not that competent enough, but I'll try and present my views, something related to women empowerment. So I have very patiently heard all the speakers today, and I was trying to relate them with the concept of women empowerment, primarily.
You got muted. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yes, no.
I don't know how that happened. So I was saying that I have very patiently heard all the renowned speakers, and it was wonderful listening to them and having shared their views and experiences. Relating every concept to women empowerment, I have been born and brought up in a family where I have never experienced firsthand what is being unequal. So my mother, my grandmother, both sides, they're all well educated, all working in their fields and masters in their field. In fact, The brief intro which you have heard about me, I give all the credit to my mother, who always took charge and made sure that I don't learn how to make chapati or sabji, which I still can't do very properly, although I try my level best. So all of this, like I'd start with what women empowerment is and how is it well protected under law. I certainly feel that after I joined the practice of law, I was a junior under my father. I came across a few cases, few instances, and I was quite surprised. In fact, I should say shocked to see that women are not empowered because, as I said, I was born in a family where there was no inequality. I never experienced it firsthand. Very recently, just 2 days back, two doctors visited me for a court case. And while telling me about their family, they told me that the boy told me that he has got 2 sons and his sister has got 1 son and 1 daughter. So the family is complete now. Quite inquisitive to know why does he say it is complete now? I asked him, wasn't your family complete when you had a daughter? And he said, no, you know that a son is necessary. All right, I can't argue much, and I don't argue with people, especially who are doctors. They can help you. But that made me think that a doctor who has been in the profession for good 15 years, a senior doctor, is telling me that his family is complete because he has a son. So this is the mindset we are in still. I mean, that really shocks me. In my legal practice, I've come across many cases, and though I have been fortunate enough to have used the legal principles, the laws in favor of women. For example, I'll give you an example. If there is a family court matter and you happen to go to a family court, God forbid, you see lawyers who are female, all female lawyers there. The judges are all females. Even the court staff is all female. They are very kind. They are very compassionate. They'll listen to you properly. They'll give you a good hearing, and a woman feels very safe with such people around. So I feel that when we speak of empowerment, the law alone cannot make sure that women are empowered. We have to give women a congenial environment to grow and explore the best version of themselves. Also, I would like to say that I have heard all the speakers. The very first speaker, with due respect, she said that when a woman is carrying a baby, she should not be, shouted on. She should be protected. I asked a question as to why a woman need to be protected by someone in the family. So why I need to be protected by my father, by my brother, by my husband, and then my son? I am an individual who is complete in my own, perspective, in my own respect. So this is the mindset we need to change, and that mindset will change only when we give an environment to women which makes them feel safe. Yet another speaker had told us, all of us, that that a lady came to her and she said that she's not able to get married. From my very childhood, I failed to understand why marriage is such a big thing, big part of life for women. Marriage, having a baby, is it the only thing which is left on earth to have? Why don't we give due importance to women getting educated, women standing on their own feet, women going out? And why can't we think of anything other than, outer than this marriage, this children setup? A woman who is unmarried at the age of 35 is looked down upon by the society, and the society saying, oh, iski shaadi nahi hoti hogi. Whereas a man of the same age would be, nobody would even ask why is he not married. At the same time, when I talk of women empowerment, I'd like to highlight and mention here that a woman needs to be empowered. Yes, she needs to have her own individual identity. Yes, but a woman does not need to be overpowered. The society has to maintain a balance between a man and a woman. We do not need to give anything extra to either of them, both of them being equal. I, being a practicing lawyer, have seen in the courts the amount of litigation which has been growing, multiplying, because the courts are not ready to hear out men. The judges are sometimes biased. With due respect to the judicial system of India, I can say that we need to make them equal. Let's not give
anyone any advantage over the other. Let's not even try to make them equal. Let's try to give women an environment. That is my thought. I started with that thought and I'll conclude with that thought. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Girishika ji, your talk was very thought-provoking, and there are two takeaways which I have, and which I totally agree with you. I know Vijay Bahadur ji has a question, so let me just conclude, and then Tiwari ji, फिर हम आपके पास आते हैं. One is, it's a personal choice whether to have a baby, whether to get married or not, but the society imposes, and women of a certain age are expected to get married. And you're right that, you know, people differentiate between men and women when it comes to not being married at a certain age. And the second thing about judiciary, yes, you know, when, you know, women were disadvantaged and the laws were created to empower them, laws were created so that when they were oppressed, that shouldn't happen. But the pendulum swung on the other side. Now the same laws are getting misused by some women, not all. So you clearly brought that out. So thanks for bringing that out, and thank you very much. तो तिवारी जी, आप अपने आप को म्यूट कर सकते हैं और आप सवाल पूछ सकते हैं.
जी, हमारा एक मैटर है, हम क्या भेज सकते हैं आपको ओपिनियन के लिए?
आप रविंदर जी से बात कर लीजिएगा इस बारे में, प्लीज.
जी, मैं इनका नंबर आपको भेज दूंगा, and you can definitely get in touch with her, and it's up to her whether she offers you legal advice or not. But मैं इनका नंबर definitely आपको share कर सकता हूँ. Any other questions? Okay, so please unmute yourself and join me in appreciating Dr. Girishika Singla for coming here and sharing her legal views and also her personal wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We move on to our next distinguished speaker, and her name is Suni Bose. And Suni is a successful entrepreneur who has managed to create a niche for herself through her own grit, determination, commitment, and hard work. She was born into a business family and has natural entrepreneurial talents. And Suni's early life went being groomed by her very successful father, who built an empire for himself doing business with the then erstwhile Soviet Union, which is now referred to as Russia. Under her father, she trained well, and then after her marriage in 1990, she left her father's home and decided to make a life on her own terms, not using her parental influence or wealth. With several jobs and interactions with several foreign companies, she struggled, faced all challenges, and went on to acquire herself to be their Indian representation, and effectively has been carrying out this part very enthusiastically for the last 2 decades. Parallelly, Suni's quest for happiness and peace made her seek the spiritual path, and also being a keen self-development freak, she went on to acquire her skills and became proficient in energy modalities, coaching, which she used only for her personal purpose, and also to help anyone who came to her with the need to work on themselves. Suni mentioned to me that she feels her calling is to reach out to the little minds who at right age can be taught to be great manifester, so that they live a purposeful life after being personally successful in all the 5 areas of their life: physical, mental and emotional, financial, relationship, social and spiritual. A balanced life can only be attained if we can balance all the areas so much that we can motivate and inspire others too. And she has been preparing herself with the knowledge and expertise to be of service to humankind. So welcome, Suni. Welcome to the show. And the stage is all yours.
So hi friends, my name is Suni and I live in Mumbai. I want to thank Ravindraji for giving me this opportunity to come and speak for 10 minutes. And I feel very excited to be present here with so much of beautiful and successful women. And I want to thank all of you for having me out here. So considering that we are celebrating our own very existence, I like to choose a topic which is very close to my heart, and I would like to share my journey on how I use my female and male energy within me. It gave me the power of transforming and finding liberation. As you would all agree that the very fact that we have come out on this earth from both a man and a woman. Okay, so regardless of our gender, each of us has the masculine and the feminine energy, and we are divine energy beings. The male energy is often referred to as the Shiva, and the female energy is often referred to as Shakti. So let me begin this talk by talking about my childhood. I am the third child amongst my siblings, and we are 4 siblings, 2 boys and 2 girls. Being the third child, you see, I arrived into a ready-made family with already pre-formed complex relationships and power dynamics that I was neither consulted or involved. So being a third child, I had to learn to fit into by not really being allowed to dictate terms. Okay, so I had to really develop a new sense of identity based not upon brash assertiveness, but upon the guile and quiet diplomacy, trying to please everybody. I learned by force to adapt to these grim realities and to find a place at the table which suits everyone. So, which actually became my greatest strength, if I go to see. Because what happened is it made it possible for me to develop my own identity. I accepted others as the main power holders and thus negotiated shuttling between diplomacy and pleasing others before I could please myself. So thus my life really became a life of service towards others and less service to myself. I actually felt ganged up against. I felt cut off and excluded, and I often felt that I was lonely and left out. I really earned to have the attention of my dad. He was a very busy man and also wanted to go wherever the team of my 2 brothers went. I wanted to be just included. So luckily for all of us in my family, my dad never had or even encouraged any gender preferences. We were all treated the same, irrespective of the gender. But my brothers were teased by their friends, and because of that, they never did include me into their team. So naturally, my dad was my hero. My elder sister, she had all the attention possible from everybody and had the stereotype female qualities. It made me more determined that I would prefer to match up with the boys, you know. So as years went by, although I had, sensuous features and persona of a woman, I wanted to role play my dad. So very unconsciously, I actually role played him to the T. By the way, though he's a handsome man, he was quite a dictator, authoritarian, and also had no patience to small talks. He's always seemed to be preoccupied, getting angry quickly, and and he got angry because people were not able to match to his race standards, you know. So he was also very self-disciplined and worked with such dedication that he became a workaholic. And he hardly took time to socialize, and a few friends he made. But however, he was a very different person when he was with his foreign counterparts, you know, where his business was concerned. He used to be very jovial there, and the business people had a good, was happy with his presence. But for the family and his work people, associates, he was a terror, and it was difficult to not fear him because it was not possible to match his raised bar of excellence. So, so although it was quite a challenge for me because of the training that I did as a third child, I very easily managed to fit in. You know, I loved the challenge to meet my dad where he wants me to, while the rest of the people and the family members would be there. You know, either they would avoid to be around him or skulk away with some excuses. And then, being with him after I got married, I made up my mind that I will find my freedom and decided to completely separate out from him. But by then, I could say very, very unconsciously, I carried the same traits and persona within me. And automatically, I started manifesting the same kind of a life where I played with him, where I played him all along, being such and became such a tyrant, disciplined, controlling, and short-tempered person. I felt that these masculine traits were necessary traits that I needed as support for the growth in order to bring balance in my financial stability family upbringing and organization. So even though I may have gone ahead and done, good in my entrepreneurship, I seem to be a very strong feminine woman. In fact, with no prejudice, I can tell you during my peak performance, there were times I felt that I showed up as the only man in the room among several men colleagues who are highly qualified academically and seniors in their businesses. However, over time, I realized that there was another side of me, my feminine side, that I never acknowledged. Deep within, I was actually this loving, caring, and helpful type nature. And due to the inculcating the masculine energy traits I picked up, I realized that most of the time, people really misunderstood me and judged me. And my pure intentions were always shadowed with their views. My dispersed feminine energy nudged me. I started to feel like being out of control, ungrounded, lonely, irritable. So deep down inside, I did not feel complete. All I needed was love, recognition, acknowledgement. And all I wanted was to offer to others the same love and respect that I had within me. So perhaps I was strong or courageous in one sense. However, I was severely lacking in my ability to be soft, fluid, and my divine feminine self. That is when I realized that unless I do not recognize and serve my true identity, it would be difficult for others to do to me so. So I had to work hard to attain it. I just did not wake up and choose it. I sat down and discussed with my mentor friends, read a lot about what is the actual quality of divine feminine. And surprisingly, with the training that I have had, I found ways and tools to easily overcome and inculcate these qualities in me because it was already there within me, and also the support of my close friends who showed me up and held space for me whenever I triggered them with my words, actions, or feelings. And most importantly, the continuous support of my son. He, being from a younger generation, was my greatest teacher. Initially, he was a complete rebel when he had to deal with my masculine side. And we did have strained relationships. However, with time, when I balanced my energy and changed myself, we understood each other. And now we share the most beautiful relationship together. And my husband, my partner, always accepted me just the way I am. And he always understood me. It also played a very supporting role to help me and encourage me to balance my male and female side. And at this juncture, I think I'm resolved to play the role model of being of service to others with full clarity of what my calling is. And I want to reach out to all those children which Ravindraji had spoken about. And so I think to conclude my talk, I would say that it is it's obvious. It is the unity of all the dualities and opposites that creates life force. In our inner nature, we all are Shiva and Shakti without limits, with an unlimited understanding and an unlimited capacity of creative actions. There were many speakers who spoke about this. It's true. Shiva and Shakti are present together, reflecting each other in our lives at every level. And we must understand that there are several advantages refraining from being, using the stereotyping of roles as per gender and creating duality within us. I do applaud my dad for not creating the gender preference because it helped me. It helped me to excel in my work. And then I also understood that I need to honor the feminine Shakti in me. It's only then all of us, if we address it, we all will be able to unitedly work together in divine union and help everybody, each other, to liberate and find our niche in life. Thank you. Thank you, my dears. Thank you.
Thank you, Suni ji. It was wonderful that divine feminine and divine masculine, when they come together with that unity, we can realize the limitless beings which we are. We have moved beyond the genders. One gender must treat the other gender in a better way. So we are moving on to the divine feminine and divine masculine. So the discourse, the bar has gone higher. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and thank you for sharing your story, how you moved from an overtly masculine personality to where you reached a point where you worked upon yourself and you got the unity and balance of divine feminine and masculine. So thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom.
Thank you.
If anyone has any questions, please raise your hands and Suni can answer your questions. Vipinji has a question. Go ahead, Vipinji.
Yes, Sunita ji, it has been nice hearing you. Even I am trying to develop my feminine side. Scientifically, I think I have to generate more estrogens than testosterone now. So that is my take. But my question is to you is ki what alphabet I have learned. In your name, I am finding ADCB. हमने तो सीखा था ABCD होता है, तो मुझे आप बताएंगे कि ADCB क्या है?
Yeah, it's a family. It's my family name. AD and C is my husband's name, and Bose is my surname.
Yeah, I know Bose I know, and so ADC the family name short form of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just a joke.
When I was in school, they used to call me Sunita AD Sunita.
AD. Okay.
Not school, sorry. When I was in work, they used to call me.
When you were there.
AD Sunita.
So
and they used to have a laugh. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all to come to the serious part, we all have to develop the male or the feminine side equally between us, and I think that leads to a lot of problem solving in the world that we have, and hopefully. Let me see how I can develop it. Someday I will also be able to be more feminine along with the male, or what they call the alpha male, which is typically called NCP.
Okay, all the best for you.
Yeah. Thanks, Vipinji. Thank you for this conversation, and I'm sure we can have more discourses. And thank you, Suni, and everyone. Please unmute yourself and join me in giving a token of appreciation to Suni. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suniti. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Our next speaker, and we also have a very special speaker, a surprise speaker. If you guys can wait, and we will bring her on. Next speaker is none other than Poonam Gupta. And Poonam Gupta is a founder at Insure 360 Degrees, which is an insurance and investment advisory firm having partners with 40 years industry experience. She is a mentor with Startup Accelerator Chamber of Commerce and Industry and a member of BNI Chandigarh. She has been awarded nationally and internationally for her contribution to the field of insurance and investments. Very recently, she has been nominated for Women Excellence and Leadership Awards, which were held in March 2021. She has previously been associated with the education industry, where she has 21 years of experience, and she was also financial consultant with top insurance houses, and she was chartered president of the Lioness Club for 4 years. And her accomplishments include Best Principal Award and Best Teachers Award, MDRT since 2007, COT 2019, Top 50 in General and Health Insurances, and she is #1 business producer. Just one second. Sorry about that. So she has been #1 business producer with HDFC Life in Chandigarh plus Himachal plus Kashmir region. And Poonam has always believed that a good teamwork is important to improve the productivity, and team can be led with strong skills and strong willpower. So please join me in welcoming Poonam ji.
Thank you, Ravinder. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being so patient. That speaker after speaker went in, and you very patiently sat, and you are here now.
I was really enjoying it because I got so many times I got opportunity to speak, but listening to such young generation and so good thing, it happened for the first time. Ravinder, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And to be very honest, मेरा फोन अभी इस पे थोड़ा सा म्यूट पे था, मुझे नहीं पता था कि I am the speaker now, right? तो जैसे मैंने just bear with me, मैंने क्योंकि I always love talking extempore. I never prepare something because समझ में नहीं, then I always forget, right? I like to share my story because people they feel that my story is quite motivating for all the women and it empowers. From my I'm born and brought up in Delhi. From my early childhood, we were 5 siblings and I was among the middle one. And from my early childhood, I'm a big dreamer. Sorry, I was not prepared for it. Na? Big dreamer, and my ambition in life was to become a surgeon. But somehow I got married at the age of 15 only because of some problems in my father's business. He was a transporter. I got married early and I never knew. मैं हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स करके बोलूंगी ताकि सब एंजॉय कर सके मेरी स्टोरी को. मैं पढ़ रही थी, मैं पढ़ने में बहुत ज्यादा किताबी कीड़ा कहते हैं ना, आई वॉज जस्ट लाइक दैट, राइट. तो मुझे सुनने में आया पूनम की शादी एंड दैट वाज अ बिग शॉक टू मी. तो मुझे पता चला, देन माय फादर मेड मी अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू गेट यू सेटल्ड बिकॉज यू अदर 2 sisters also to have to get settled. So I agreed, but I put my 2 conditions. एक तो सबसे पहली कंडीशन थी कि मेरी शादी सैटरडे को होनी चाहिए ताकि मैं शादी होके जाऊंगी, संडे को रिसेप्शन होगी एंड मंडे को आई विल गो टू माय स्कूल, आई विल नॉट मिस माय स्कूल. एंड दूसरी थे कि किसी को बुलाया नहीं जाएगा ज्यादा लोगों को, जस्ट अ मैरिज. आई वाज वेरी यंग, आई वाज वेरी सिंपल दैट टाइम. आज मैं जो हूँ, आई एम टोटली 180 डिग्री डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट आई वाज इन माय अर्ली चाइल्डहुड. आई वाज वेरी इनोसेंट दैट टाइम. सो शादी हुई, देन आई डिड माय स्कूलिंग फ्रॉम लेडी फातिमा पटियाला. And nobody was, a married woman was not allowed to go to the school. She was not allowed to go regular school. So it was kept hidden. तो जब मैं गली में से जाती थी अपने पटियाला की, तो लोग खड़े हो जाते थे, बहू जा रही है, बहू आ रही है स्कर्ट में, right? That was I really enjoy that बताने में ना. Now cut short, I did my 10th के बाद फिर then I was blessed with a baby boy. So 11th में I couldn't do regular. तो मेरा जो सपना था to become a surgeon was stopped there only. Then I did honor school in economics from Punjab University, and with the grace of my Lord Krishna, I topped the university. And इन सब चीजों में ना मेरी फैमिली का बहुत बड़ा रोल है, मेरी in-laws का. They really brought me up as their daughter only. तो 7 बच्चे. Then first year I was blessed with my elder daughter. Then when I was in, then I did my masters में मेरी second daughter हुई. Then third daughter. So I have a son and 3 daughters. Then we shifted to Panchkula. I'm in Panchkula only. And I got an opportunity to serve the DAV schools in 1984. So there my career of education started, which was totally different from what I dreamt of. मैंने जो सोचा था. But still, मैं जो भी life में आया मैंने उसको accept किया, because what I have learned is keep moving on. Never stop. Whatever comes to you is perhaps the best thing your Lord wants to give to you. I'm a firm believer of Lord Krishna. जो भी मेरे रास्ते में आता गया मैंने उसको एक्सेप्ट किया. चैलेंजेस बहुत आए लाइफ में, अप्स एंड डाउन्स बहुत आए, बट आई एम सो ब्लेस्ड दैट माय लॉर्ड वाज ऑलवेज विद मी एंड आई सेल्ड थ्रू दैट. देन as I told you that I was president of Loyalist. I was charter president of Loyalist Club for 4 years, and then I got best teacher, best principals award from CBSE Delhi. I was somehow dreams थी, बच्चे बड़े होते गए, शादियां हुई उनकी, तो मैंने देखा कि जो मेरे ड्रीम्स हैं, मेरा ड्रीम था to travel the whole world. Till the age of 46, I never even been to Singapore या कोई पास का भी नहीं था, और मुझे कुछ ऐसा नहीं दिख रहा था कि I'll be able to complete my dreams through this. But that was not the reason to stop my profession, to change my profession. In 2003, I took voluntary retirement from education. And retirement तो लिया, but इसलिए नहीं लिया था कि मुझे घर में बैठना था. मेरे बच्चों की शादियां हो गई थी. So just a younger daughter was to get married. I saw that there was so much of misconception and mis-selling in the market when it comes to insurance, because my husband, he is in insurance for the last 42 years. So I have always heard talking to the people and all. So I thought, now I have taken retirement. It doesn't mean that I have to sit at home. I'll educate people about insurance, because that is their hard-earned money they are investing into the insurance. And again, because you can say that my concept was very, I really want to say that मेरी intuition was good. मेरी नीयत अच्छी थी. मैंने लोगों को, I was not working to earn out of their pocket, out of insurance, but I really want to help them save their money, save their life. And then again, I got so many awards, as told by Ravinda. I'm a continuous MDRT, and the all big business houses of Chandigarh, Panchkula, and even in so many, we are in so many countries also. They all are now a family. The renowned names, you know. I'm working as a I have. I just don't want to name the people who are with me. Big doctors, big businessmen, big industrialists, and even the small people, because I give value to life, whosoever are. And I really want to empower women. I'm working in this direction also, because I'm helping lots of people, lots of girls to stand on their own feet. And when I was a teacher also, I used to counsel people, girls, to live a life of their dreams. And now my only, my say to you all is that girls ke liye especially, kabhi bhi, you all are multitaskers. You have more powers than anybody else in this world, and you can achieve all your dreams. Just follow the law of attraction, as told by, I think Jaspreet talked about it, or Kalpana talked about it. Law of attraction, that what you give to the society, what you give to the universe, it comes back to you. So stay positive in all conditions, in all situations. If you're positive, things will turn positive. If you just take a little back of it, you take little depression, then the things will not change, because whatever you think, it will come back to you. Have an attitude of gratitude and believe in yourself. Be a good reader. I always been a good reader. I always have Bhagavad Gita with me. I always read it every day. And I wish if I can get all of yours address, I really want to send it to you as a complimentary gift from my side, because read Gita as a professional book. Read Gita as a professional book. It's a big, हमारे धर्म की किताब है ये, right? इसके लिए जरूरी नहीं है कि आप मंदिर में बैठ के पढ़ो. मैं हमेशा, I love gifting it to people whomsoever I meet. इसको हाथ धो के, कुल्ली करके, आप बेड में बैठ के भी पढ़ो. Read it, because unless and until you will read it, you will not gain out of it. आप सिर्फ ये सोचोगे मंदिर में बैठ के 2 श्लोक पढ़ लूं तो नहीं होगा कुछ भी. Read it thoroughly once, twice, 3 times, more number of times. And just it was written years and years before, but now it is applicable in today's world. Whatever it says, never stop. अपना कर्म करो, फल की इच्छा मत रखो. You will get what you deserve. जैसे अभी बहुत सारी बातें हुई थी past life की और ये सब. It's truth. We create our own destiny. आज हम जो कर रहे हैं ना, उसी से हमारी destiny बनेगी. So do good. कोई कुछ करता है, just forgive, forget and move on. And do good will come to you. I'm so happy that मुझे नहीं पता मैं बीच बीच में रुक भी गई थी. I'm so happy sharing it. Ravinder, thank you so much, and thank you so much to all of you for listening me so patiently. I'm happy. Anything anybody wants? वैसे तो मैंने कुछ ऐसा question वाली बात करी नहीं है, but I'll be happy to say anything if you want to know.
Thank you, Poonam ji, for sharing.
बहुत अच्छा लगा. आप कहाँ से हैं मैम?
I'm in Panchkula, Chandigarh, and Meenakshi, to add to it, I'm blessed with 6 grandchildren. My granddaughter, she is doing medicals, +2 medicals, right? And
sorry guys, I got disconnected because there was a power cut at my end.
Thank you ma'am, love you.
तो अभी भी पावर नहीं है, बट आई हैव स्विच टू मोबाइल कनेक्शन. तो पूनम जी, थैंक यू सो मच. मैं जो कह रहा था जब मेरी बात कट गई, कि आपने उस उम्र में यू डिसाइडेड टू परस्यू एजुकेशन जब लड़कियां पढ़ती नहीं थी और उसको बुरी नजर से देखा जाता था आफ्टर मैरिज. एंड आई कैन रिलेट टू समवन वेरी क्लोज, अ लेडी who is close to my heart. She could not pursue her education and she regretted her whole life. और आज 2014 में मोदी जी आके कह रहे हैं बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, और आपने उस जनरेशन में वो परस्यू किया. सो यू आर एन इंस्पिरेशन टू ऑल ऑफ अस. और दूसरा जो भगवत गीता के बारे में आपने कहा है, वो एक अथाह समुंदर है. अब जितनी बार गोता लगाएंगे उतनी बार उसमें से रत्न प्राप्त होंगे. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग. सो मे बी we would invite you for a bigger format जहाँ आपके पास ज्यादा समय होगा और आप डिटेल में भगवत गीता के बारे में हमें बता सकें. सो थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू सो मच. आप मुझे सबका एड्रेस भेजेंगे तो आई लव टू सेंड इट एज अ गिफ्ट टू एवरीबॉडी.
श्योर मैं आप सबको भेज दूंगा. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, प्लीज जॉइन मी इन sharing the token of appreciation for Poonam ji. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Poonam ji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And as I had said, now that there is a special guest, a surprise guest with us, and she is a very busy person. So we had requested her and she could not make it, but still she has come in for a short duration, taking time out of her busy schedule. Her name is Priyanka Uppal. And if you watch ET Now Swadesh, or you used to watch Z Business earlier, you would have seen her. She's a stock market anchor with Times Network, and she's a multimedia journalist. She anchors opening and closing market shows with ET Now Swadesh, and she has worked with Z Network, TV Today Group, Voice of India as an anchor cum producer, and she has hosted general political business shows, Bazaar Shastra on Z Business, and has been her most popular stock market show with a fan base of more than 2 lakh followers. And she has also co-founded Purple Media Works, which is a content creation firm. And Purple Media Works curates integrated audio-video content for brands and corporates, which help them drive sales and gain visibility in the industry. With a span of 8 years, Purple Media Works has used offline and online channels to service clients from across the sectors. And Priyanka specializes in client acquisition and positioning companies in the market. And Purple Media Works is the first PR agency in India belonging to the International PR Network, IPRN. And the network has independent PR agencies from Europe, UK, United States, Japan, Middle East, and some other countries of Asian subcontinent. So please welcome Priyanka. Priyanka ji.
Thank you, Ravinder ji, for inviting me and having me over. It was such a pleasure to be part of the wonderful audience, wonderful speakers who have so much to share from their journey. I wish them all the best. I'm sorry, because of a pre-decided and a pre-commitment, I was not able to stay for that long. You can play this voice note if you wish to. Thank you so much for your time and making me part of this wonderful event. Thanks a lot. Happy Women's Day to all the speakers. Wish them loads and loads of wishes for their future endeavors. Thank you.